The LA Rams sitting at 3-1, hosting on Thursday Night Football the San Francisco 49ers, who are currently also 3-1. This game kicks off from SoFi Stadium, 5:15 p.m. local time on Prime Video. If you're not going to be at the stadium, Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung on the call. For you bettors out there, the Rams are minus 5.5, minus 150 on the money line, 46.5 for your over/under. So Vegas and the sports books liking the Rams in this matchup. Gotta love that, man. Obviously, no distribution map for you this week, as we're prime time. All right, all eyes on us, man. That's the way it's supposed to be for sure. But the Rams will be wearing their royal jerseys for this, which brings us to Pants Picks, the game that is sweeping the nation. Myself and Peo time going with Soul, Tuna, and Rams House going with Royal. I do want to throw it out there as my own disclaimer that I did initially pick Bone, and I switched my call, so I will accept the loss, but if it is Bone at least. But I don't know. There's something about it, man. It feels like the Rams are going a lot of Royal on Soul right now. So I'm just sticking with the trends, dude. We got Bone again next week, though, at the Baltimore Ravens. See what happens. I'm just going to go Soul, okay? I'll tell you right now. That's what I'm doing. But those are your Pants Picks. Rams, though, in the Royal jerseys for this game. History of this matchup. This is the 153rd all-time meeting between these two. The 49ers do lead the all-time series 78-71. And 3. The last game between these two teams came on December 12th of 2024, just last year. There was a 12-6 win for the Rams in San Francisco. The first ever game between these two came on October 1st, which is actually the anniversary will be tomorrow. So you might be seeing this on the anniversary of that game. 75 years of this rivalry. Absolutely awesome. The Rams won that first matchup 35-14. The Rams have won the last 3 against the San Francisco 49ers, and the Rams and 49ers have met twice ever in the playoffs. Both those NFC Championship games. First one, January 14th, 1990. The Niners won that one 30-3, and then, of course, the most recent one, January 30th, 2022, where the Rams won 20-17 to go on to the Super Bowl and win over the Cincinnati Bengals at SoFi Stadium. Storybook stuff there, dude. Storybook. Absolutely incredible. There are 3 calendar years since 1950 that the Rams and 49ers have only played once. Can you guess any of them? Do you have any on the top of your head right now? All right, 2015, 2009, and then 1982. Those are the only 3 years since 1950 that the Rams and the 49ers only played one time in a calendar year. And in fairness, those all came like it was like January 2nd was the second game. So they're very tied in there. And then, of course, each of those years, the following year, there was 3 matchups. So I'm just saying it's a possible trivia question this week, okay? So do your homework, take your notes, all right? This will be on the test, okay? Is what I'm trying to tell you. As we kind of look at this game, though, the 49ers coming off of their first loss of the season. That was last week at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, there is a little bit of history there with Gladstone as the new GM. Former Rams scout, and then Liam Cohen as the head coach, former Rams offensive coordinator before LaFleur took over. So there's definitely some knowledge there. I'm not sure how much that necessarily played into this matchup, but a little bit of history there, at least from the brains on the sideline and in the booths up there. They did defeat the Seahawks, the Saints, and the Cardinals before that, so a few division dubs already for the 49ers. And only an AFC loss. That is why they are ahead of the Rams, like I said earlier. The Rams, they're coming in after after a home win against the Indianapolis Colts after a 1-1 road trip. Obviously, winning in Tennessee and then losing in Philadelphia. So back at home again for another home game. This is going to be the 3rd home game of the season before we're not home for a little bit. Of course, in Baltimore, in London bye week, and then home against the Saints. So this, if you're going to be in town, definitely take advantage. Rams won't be taking the SoFi turf for a little bit, so definitely worth getting your booty into the seats for this go-round. Obviously, major game in the NFC West, even early in the season. The Rams have had a few big games already, even early in the season. This is the Rams' first divisional game of the year. The 49ers' third, though. They are already 2-0 in the division. Can't let them go 3-0 on you, especially as you're trying to kind of separate yourself already. You know, you want to be able to take these early games and kind of just get ahead so that in December you can maybe take a game where, Jimmy Garoppolo is starting and Jarquez Hunter running back and stuff like that. And you're playing Mump as your number one and stuff like that. Not that these guys are bad players by any means, but keeping your top talent out for the playoffs, I mean, it's something that the Rams clearly like to do if we have the opportunity. So winning games like this now can allow you to do that in December time, which obviously absolutely huge. This is the Rams' second NFC game of the year, 49ers' fourth NFC game of the year. They've only had the one AFC game, which they did lose. This is another matchup in a rivalry that has crazy history. And that is, I think, the coolest part about this kind of matchup is, like I said, 153rd all-time meeting is this one right now. 49ers do lead, but the Rams have done well in recent years, so hopefully we can kind of keep that trend going. I want to talk about some Thursday Night Football stats because I found this kind of interesting. The Rams are 15-11 on Thursday Night Football all time. The Rams have not lost on TNF since Week 1 of 2022. That was against the Bills Week 1. So that was the big opener. That was 31-10, I believe it was, against the Buffalo Bills at home. What can you do? That was kind of just not a fun year entirely. So it happens, man. Rams have won 5 of their last 6 Thursday Night Football games as well. Sean McVay is 7-2 on Thursday night as the Rams head coach. Sean McVay's first TNF game as the Rams head coach was against the San Francisco 49ers. That happened in 2017, 41-39. What a crazy game that was for the Rams over San Fran. This is going to be the 5th straight home game for the Rams on TNF, which I absolutely love. Love that trend. Hopefully that continues for so long. I already hate Thursday night games. I already think that they're a whole bag of mummers. But if you're going to be in a situation where you're at least at home, that does kind of help it, I think, a little bit, because then you don't have to, get home on a Monday and then head out again on, a Wednesday, because you got to be in the away city 24 hours out at least. So, yeah, it's just a quick, truncated week. And I'm not a fan, but either way, at least we can be at home for it, so I'll take that for sure. Before moving to St. Louis, so from 1937 until 1995, the Rams had only appeared in 8 total Thursday Night Football games. That is 58 years worth of Thursday Night Football games. And then in the last 30 years, it's almost half the time, the Rams have played in 18 Thursday Night Football games. I think it was 2005, maybe it was a little bit later than that, maybe. That every team started doing, maybe it was way later than that, actually, that every team, maybe it was 15, started doing where every team got a Thursday night game, and that's just a regular part of the rotation now. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. That also doesn't matter whether I like it or not. They're going to keep doing it. They're not going to listen to my podcast and be like, maybe we should give Thursdays back to the people. I don't know. I don't know what that means, really. But it makes for a short, crazy week when you got to try to do all this. But it's fun still. Either way. Let's look at some milestones here. Matthew Stafford passing Kurt Warner for touchdown passes in Rams history. 103 total. Warner had 102 as the Rams quarterback. Needs 4 touchdown passes to tie Jared Goff in Rams history. Goff has 107 passing touchdowns, in Rams history. 61 games for Stafford, 69 for Jared Goff. So Stafford realistically doing it in less games than Jared Goff. Stafford is currently on pace for 4,735 passing yards. That would be 3rd most in a single season in Rams history, behind himself and Kurt Warner. He is currently on his current pace. He would end the season with the 4th most passing yards in Rams history total. That's overall, passing Norm Van Brocklin as well as Jared Goff. The 47-35 would be 42nd best in NFL history for a single season. And it's actually kind of cool. I don't think I noticed that Stafford is a 5K guy. I think that was 2010 that he threw for 5,000. I mean, certainly possible. I mean, he's on pace for 47-35 right now, so definitely not in that world yet. Especially considering there's an extra game now as well. But I mean, obviously anything can happen, man. At 375 last week, if you can put a couple more of those together, you're gonna be looking good as far as your averages and all that stuff goes. And next up here, and it was what we're going to end on as far as the milestones go, we're going to go with Puka Nacua because I don't know if you guys have heard, he's a pretty good football player, all right? He's out here killing it, all right? He has reached double-digit receiving touchdowns, officially, number 10 in his career, that game-tying score that he had against the Colts, tying Billy Waddy, Ernie Conwell, Eddie Kennison, Brian Quick, Van Jefferson, Drew Hill, Wendell, Tyler, and Roland Williams all had 10 receiving touchdowns in their Rams careers. He's tied for the most receptions in the first 4 games of a season with 22 Kupp and 18 Michael Thomas with 43 receptions, which means he's on pace for about 1 billion. It's absolutely crazy. He's currently 175th most receiving yards in a single season in Rams history, and it's only been 4 weeks. He is currently on pace for 179 receptions on the season. That would beat the Rams record by 33 and beat the NFL record by just 29. As I don't know if you remember that that Cooper Kupp 21 season was very close to breaking that single season record. He's currently on pace also for 2,138 receiving yards this season, which is absolutely crazy. Would be a Rams record, of course, because it would also be an NFL record. No wide receiver has ever had a 2K receiving yards year. Of the top 25 seasons, too, or the top 25 single-season receiving yard seasons. Does that make sense? Try not to get too into the weeds on these. But of the top 25 on that single-season list, 4 of those are Rams, including number 2 overall, the superhero 2021 Cooper Kupp. And that also does include the 1995 year where Jerry Rice got into 4th all-time for a single season, and Isaac Bruce coming in not far behind him with 8th overall, which is absolutely incredible, especially being in the same season. I just think that that's super, super cool. As far as our connections go here, former Rams who are on the 49ers, I didn't see any other names that I had recognized, and I'll be honest, that's how I do that. I just go through the roster and look for names I recognize. I feel like I've covered this team long enough now where I would recognize, even if they were like a quick practice squad stop or something, you know, because I talk about them to you every single week, so I should know them. But either way, the only name that popped out to me, Demarcus Robinson, wide receiver, D-Rob, who obviously spent a couple years with the Rams, had some incredible moments as a member of the Rams. We love and respect D-Rob, but he's the enemy now. And he's a 49er, so he's also dead to us. So once he retires, we're on the D-Rob train again. Until then, who? I'm just kidding. There's some notable coaches that are sitting on the San Francisco sideline. Robert Saleh making his return, obviously, to coach the defense. Gus Bradley, really good coach, really long-time coach. I just thought his title was really interesting. Assistant head coach of defense. Very specifically. Thought that was an interesting title. KJ Wright, he is a defensive quality control, former linebacker. We got to see him play against our Rams, of course, plenty of times. And then the big battle, the one that we all know about, Sean McVay going against Kyle Shanahan. That storyline goes back forever. Those two are like best friends, and I love the story about Shanahan getting told by somebody. It's like, dude, don't worry about it. Take tonight. Reach out tomorrow. Matthew Stafford will still be available. And it was pretty much that, like, right there that the deal was being closed by McVay and Stafford and Cabo, which I think is one of the coolest stories ever. You can't sleep on it, dude. Way to go, Kyle. You blew it. You blew it, Kyle. How many times has somebody said that to Kyle Shanahan, by the way? You blew it. It's kind of what he does, man. It's kind of what he does. I don't want to bring up Super Bowls and NFC championships and stuff like that, but comebacks are kind of a thing that happened to Kyle Shanahan. And maybe they were in the lead for Matthew Stafford. And then Sean McVay slipping in there, pulling a quick one, dude. Heck yeah. Take a look at the matchup of this one. We'll start with the Rams offense going against that 49ers defense. Really solid matchup here. The 4th overall ranked offense for the Rams put up barely under 400 yards a game, but the Niners defense, 3rd in the NFL, giving up 288. Passing the football, top 3 unit for the Rams, 267.5 for the Rams through the air, courtesy of Matthew Stafford. And going against the 6th ranked pass defense, giving up 165 for the Niners. Rushing the ball, Rams definitely looking pretty solid here. I would say an improvement over last year for sure. 120.8 a game. That's 13th in the NFL, going against 115.5 a game in the 49ers defense, which ranks 17th. So certainly a chance there. Average points being put up, Rams scoring 25. That's 13th in the league. Niners giving up 18.8. That is 7th in the league. And 3rd down conversions, Rams 13th here, scoring 40.4% of those guys, and then the Niners giving up 32%, which is actually 2nd in the NFL, so big test there, absolutely. Some opposing players that we're going to keep our eyes on. We're going to start with Eli Apple here. Eli Apple making his way back to SoFi Stadium. One of the most iconic catches in Rams history will forever be Eli Apple getting turned into pie by Cooper Kupp. who ended his unreal 2021 campaign by helping the Rams take the lead in the Super Bowl over Eli Apple. That was, of course, his final catch of that incredible season. What a perfect way to send that one off. Over Eli Apple, though, that one, that's iconic. It remains forever. But he knows his field. He knows his team. As a guy who will have plenty of snaps, I'm sure. Apple is at least one guy to keep our eyes on. Renardo Green is ahead of Apple on the depth chart, but was limited in practice Monday. I have not checked the Tuesday injury reports. I don't know if they're out yet. I did check a little bit ago and they weren't out. I don't know if they are now. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll see if Green plays. If not, then Apple's definitely going to get his fair share. But Green certainly ahead of him on the depth chart there. Next up, I'm going to go with Fred Warner. 22 solo tackles on the year. May not stand out, but Warner absolutely still one of the top linebackers in the NFL. He and Kyron certainly going to be meeting on a few occasions, running duo like the Rams do on the offensive line. Getting up to that second layer and getting Warner out of the run lane is going to be huge this week. And it does seem like the Rams are going to have their offensive line back in action, so that's good news. Steve Avila, it makes sense that the Rams would let him play this week, considering we do have then 10 days until our next game in Baltimore after this. So it's very possible that we can have our offensive line put together for this one for what would be the second time, but obviously in week one wasn't a whole lot of time. Excuse me. That we had all those guys together. And then next up here, I'm going to go with Bryce Huff. He is tied for the lead in sacks on the team, but that's just 2. But with Nick Bosa, who will miss the rest of the season with that torn ACL, Huff, he's definitely going to be the top pass rusher. You know what I mean? So he's got 3 quarterback hits on the year and 2 forced fumbles as well. But like I said, with Bosa out, Huff is definitely the guy to pay attention to. So a lot more attention is going to go to that direction. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out. But Huff, he'll really need to show that he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL if the 49ers are going to be a team that is actually going to be making an impact this year and into the playoffs. And if he's going to do it, it starts this week against a division opponent on the road. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure. Rams have a really good offensive line, especially when it comes to protecting Stafford. So I think that we're in a good spot heading into this one. Sans Bosa. Best one-on-one I have for this game is going to be Davante Adams versus Diamador Lenore. What could be the least, probably the least star power-driven secondary that the Rams have faced so far. Adams really could be in for a big day. Lenore will likely get the bulk of the reps against Adams, but again, no disrespect intended here towards anybody, but this is probably the best matchup that Adams has had yet so far this season. Stingley in week 1, Snead in week 2, had the Eagles secondary with DeGene, all those guys in week 3, and then last week it was forgetting his name already. That's good news. But they have good corners too, man. So I do think that this is the best matchup so far for Davante going against Diamador Lenore. But we also know that Puka is destroying souls. So who knows if this is going to be one of those games where the 49ers are putting their best guy on Puka, because Puka is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know why everybody's giving so much attention. I mean, I know why they're giving attention to Davante Adams, because he's incredible. But Puka's eating people up, dude. I mean, he's spitting bones out over here. And people are still like, don't let Davante beat you. But you know what? Maybe they know more than I do. Maybe they know that if they give that attention to Puka, that Davante is just gonna have 250 yards, and then what? Then what? Then what? That's a real question. Then what? 3 to C for the Rams side here. We're gonna start with Davante Adams for the reason I just mentioned. Adams is going to have a day where he's going to have a day where he has more targets, more receptions, more yards than Puka Nacua does in a game, and it's going to be dictated by the opponent. Like Sean McVay says, the opponent has a say. They can tell you a little bit about what you're going to do. You don't get to just control everything, all right? They get their say on the impact of the game as well. And who knows when that team is going to be that takes away Puka instead of Davante. And then Adams is going to just go off. But I think that this secondary, specifically with a weaker pass rush than we maybe anticipated into this game, I think Davante is absolutely in line to have a really big day in this game. Next up here, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford, coming off of the most passing yards in a game as a Ram, the 375 last week. Stafford obviously bounced back big time in a game where he did miss a few targets in the previous week against Philly. It happens, no biggie. We still got a whole lot of football to play, but he also had 41 attempts last week, and now we're going into a short week. So the Rams could lean a little bit more run, which means that Stafford will need to just take advantage of the chances that he's got. I have all the trust in the world in Matthew Stafford to make smart decisions and get the football to where it needs to go. But with what I would guess is going to be more limited reps than 41 attempts than last week against Indy, I think that you just got to be on, man. Just take advantage of the reps when you got them, and I fully expect him to. And next up here, we're going to go with Tutu Atwell, the Tutu train. It is easy to put Puka here, for sure. And sure, it was one catch from Tutu Atwell. I don't want to get like overblown here. It was one catch. It was a friggin' sweet catch. and in such a big moment, which is kind of what you have Tutu for, you know what I mean? So it was a game winner, obviously. Tutu looked like he was jogging. It's crazy, dude. I can't imagine that he, like, going full speed for Tutu. He probably can't, dude. His shoes will probably rip off of his feet. He probably has to jog because they don't design clothes like Dash Incredible in real life where these pants and these shoes can maintain the speed and the intensity that comes with the speed of Tutu Atwell, man. And I'm sorry to Emmanuel Forbes, but I think I'm on Tutu's side on this one, man. I love Emmanuel Forbes. I got nothing bad to say. But as far as this speed goes, dude, Tutu was jogging and blowing by everybody. He did not look like he was going full speed, man. So maybe one day we'll see the Tutu explosion the way that we are intended to. But again, I just don't think that the fabric can handle it, man. I don't know if science has caught up to the speed of Tutu Atwell. His shoes are going to explode. So Tutu Atwell, man, love to see it. And again, that's just what you want in a big moment. That's why you paid him. Les Snead talked about it on the Sean McVay show this week. That, you know, he's like, the stuff that doesn't show up in PFF ratings and stuff like that is the stuff where he's so fast, he's pulling defenders away from other situations, creating other space for other guys. So yeah, Puka may get a 20-yard catch that was actually helped out by Tutu quite a bit. So that kind of stuff goes into play. Obviously, there's so many different factors, but Tutu Atwell, hopefully this is a time now for him to really get his rhythm going and start just really taking off. Love to see it. Overall, when it comes to the Rams offense going against the 49ers defense, the Rams offense feels like it's going to get further into rhythm as the season goes on. The Rams are slowly getting the tight end position a little bit more involved, as well as some more depth, such as that 2-2 play, like I said. Nick Bosa is a clear-cut big hit for this defense. Obviously, losing a guy like that this early in the season is obviously a big hit. But you know what? That's the name of the game. Injuries happen. Next man up. I mean, that's how I feel about our injuries as well. When somebody goes down, I don't love it. I hate to see it, but we still got games to play. We can't hold off because someone's hurt. So let's get somebody else in there. It's just what we got to do, man. But the Rams should have the advantage here with the obvious wild card of this being a division opponent. So I do like the matchup a lot, but obviously when the history of Saleh and Shanahan going against LaFleur and McVay, obviously there's some history there. So there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Who knows what the game plan is going to be? This is also a short week, which means a little bit of a truncated game plan. You don't get to fully install something that you would necessarily want to do all the time. Like you can certainly add some wrinkles and stuff like that, but it is a little bit more stripped down as far as your game plan goes in a situation like this. Let's flip over to the other side here. We have the Rams defense going against the 49ers offense. 49ers offense is a top 5 unit, putting up 375.3 yards a game. The Rams top 10, giving up 311.3, passing the football 280 a game for the 49ers offense. That's second in the league. 186 given up it through the air for the Rams defense. That is tied for 9th best. Rushing the football, this is where the 49ers definitely taking a step back from previous years. 28th in the NFL, averaging just 88 yards a game. Rams are 10th in the league, giving up 98.5. Average points being put up a game. The Niners putting up 20. That ranks 23rd. And Rams giving up 20.3. That is tied for 10th. So 20 points makes sense for the Niners this week. Third down conversion rate, 48.1% for the Niners offense. That's third in the NFL. Rams giving up 34%. That is tied for 8th. So obviously here, what the main battle is going to look like is going to be that air attack. We don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. It does seem like Purdy being back, but then he was limited on Monday. Obviously, with it being a short week, lots of wrenches being thrown into all kinds of machines over here. So we don't know who's going to play quarterback quite yet. I would anticipate that it's going to be Brock Purdy, but also I don't know if it's better or worse. Like, I don't know what it means that Mac Jones makes that offense run just as well as Brock Purdy. I don't know if that's a better sign for Mac Jones or a worse sign for Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, if this guy can come in and just do exactly what you've been doing, I mean, I don't want to say system and all that stuff, but like, if anybody else, if some rando, I don't want to call Mac Jones just a total rando, but like, come on, like some dude come in here and just run the offense just as good as you. I mean, that can't be a good sign. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want your backup to be better than you. And I think that we might be seeing that in San Francisco. But hey, Brock's the one getting paid. So. Opposing players we're going to want to keep our eyes on. We're going to start with Christian McCaffrey, a running back, getting quite a bit of touches here for the 49ers, showing that he's still able to get it done and very difficult to tackle, of course. Rams run defense getting their third really big test in a row, but also Christian McCaffrey getting all these reps, man. I don't know what it is about San Fran. They've got no concept of load management at all. They want to give Christian McCaffrey all the touches in the world in September. That's awesome. But with his history, I imagine in December we won't see Christian McCaffrey running the football. And I'm not saying I hope he gets hurt, not saying anything like that. But when you're using a guy who's very blatantly had a hard time staying on football fields, sure, he's great. He's really good at football. He breaks a bunch of tackles and stuff, but you're going to run him into the ground. They're Steven Jacksoning Christian McCaffrey right now. So, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. I mean, it's hard to be that mad about it as an opponent. You know what I mean? So, it happens. Wide receiver Demarcus Robinson going to be next up. First game back was last week, so this is his second game as a Niner. Robinson has been a really solid wide receiver. We all know that, of course. He may not go off in most games, but when he does, it is a problem. When he's on, he is on. He can score 2-3 touchdowns on you and put up, 115. But more realistically, he's a 3-catch, 24-yard kind of guy, depending on his offense. I do think it is very dependent on the offense that he is in. We haven't really gotten to see him be embedded into the 49ers offense yet. So we truly don't know what Demarcus Robinson brings to that San Fran pass attack. And next up here, we'll go with Trent Williams. Jared Verse has a lot more attention this season, but going against Trent Williams this week could mean that the 49ers might be a little bit more comfortable to let Williams go one-on-one with Jared Verse. And if he does, I don't think the chances that Verse could at least make Purdy's soul rise to the heavens on at least one occasion. You know what I mean? So you go and block him one-on-one. I understand Trent Williams is incredible, but and he's probably going to win some reps, dude, but you're not going to win them all against Jared Verse. That's just not possible, man. So I'm here for it. And I will say Trent Williams has been known to be a little talkative, and we know Jared Verse. So I'm just hoping it doesn't get out of hand or anything like that. But the chirping is going to be a thing between Verse and Williams, and I'm here for all of that, man. That's going to be absolutely so much fun to watch. I know after reps all the time, you're going to see Verse turning around, and you're going to see him talking, man. It's going to be fun, man. This is going to be a really fun game. It's already Niners week, and then you get little battles like that. Pinnacle, dude. Pinnacle. Love football. It's so nice. My best one-on-one for the Rams defense going against the Niners offense. I'm going to go to Nate Landman versus Christian McCaffrey. Landman has done wonders for the Rams run defense, dude, honestly. But tough test this week against a team that knows us better than the other teams we've played recently. So, I mean, we've played against really good running backs. Obviously, Mixon was out week 1, but then Pollard, really good back. You've got Barkley, obviously, really good back. Jonathan Taylor, really good back. Christian McCaffrey, really good back. So the Rams are going against really, really good run attacks, especially just really good running backs specifically, but not giving up a bunch, which you love to see. Another tough battle here, obviously, but with the 49ers offense only putting up 88 rushing yards a game, I kind of like this. I kind of like this situation where the Rams may be able to kind of pin their ears back a little bit and get after Brock Purdy, but also know that a lot of their pass attack with Purdy to Christian McCaffrey and a lot of their other guys as well. I know Kittle's on IR and stuff, but they do a lot of short passes, get the ball out of Purdy's hands and let your playmakers make plays, which I also think is a little bit of a sign of the skill set of Brock Purdy. But I'm also just not here to trash the dude. I mean, his story obviously absolutely incredible, but I just don't think he's as talented as we're giving. You know what I mean? That's all I'll say there. But who am I? Who am I? But for Nate Landman, man, a punch out on CMC would be just a good watch. That'd just be a good watch. That'd just be fun for me. I'd give high fives for sure. Everybody I'm around is getting a high five if that happens. But yet another chance for Nate to show why he was brought in. And we'll see what happens with Nate Landman's contract situation. 28-year-old linebacker signed a 1-year deal. So obviously, the situation that we're looking at now is he's going to need some money next year to stick around. But who knows, man? He loves being a Ram. That's obviously not the biggest indicator of what somebody will take. Von Miller liked being a Ram as well and went to Buffalo. They had more years on the contract. We had more average, but he had more years in Buffalo. Then they cut him before our contract would have ended, so whatever. But there's a lot of different factors that go into signing extensions. 3 to see here for the Rams defensive side. We're going to start with Braden Fisk, dude. Fisky business. Fisk was quiet weeks 1 through 3. A lot of he was a little bit banged up in there, so not getting a ton of reps. But week 4, man, we saw Fisk start to get into that pass rush rhythm here. So my guess is that this is the week that we see Fisk take down a quarterback. Brock Purdy, man, better watch out for 55 coming at him because, Fisk looking good, dude. Looking good. Looked really good last week. Definitely made some moves, especially like on guys like Quentin Nelson, where it was like, oh no, Fisk is back. He's doing fine. He's feeling all right, dude. And then a full participant in practice, at least on Monday, for sure. So Fisky business. Fisk it to biscuit, man. It's looking good. Got to Fisk it to get the biscuit. Cam Curl next up. Curl coming off his first 2 picks as a Ram, dude. Those are absolutely awesome. That is quintessential. He showed basically in textbook form what the Chris Shula defense is designed to do. You rush the passer, force him into a situation where he's maybe throwing a pass, maybe a little bit off rhythm, maybe a little deep, something like that. You sit back in the secondary, pick your shot, dude. Curl did it absolutely. He did it twice. Super good to see, man. To start the game and then to end the game. First drive, last drive. Cam Curl, man. Open and close the game out, Cam. Absolutely love to see it. Like to see that he's, getting into that rhythm now. Came in last year as a Ram, and I was obviously fired up about Cam Curl showing up. And then I think last year it was a lot of finding his rhythm into our team, and I think he's got it, man. He's looking good, man. But I'm curious to see if this is like the start of Curl getting like a wave of turnovers now, or if it's also going to leak into the rest of the secondary, and we're just going to be picking off everybody, dude. So that'd be fun. And next up here, I'll go with Byron Young. Young is benefiting from the line getting shifted to Verse's side for sure. He's taking full advantage of it, man. Obviously, when eyeballs are going to a guy like Jared Verse, the other guy's got to take advantage. And Byron Young now leads the NFL in sacks with 5. So absolutely love to see it. BY taking care of business. And it's going to be one of those things where teams are going to have to decide, where's the attention going, and then. And we also got pass rushers in the middle too, so I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to try to figure out who's blocking all these dudes for the Rams, but someone's got to figure it out, man. Or they don't. Whatever. But Young may get some more attention this week than the first 4, just with Trent Williams being on that other side. But obviously there will be a mix-up where Young will get to go against Williams as well. So this is a good week to just see how much better Young has gotten this season. So I'm fired up about it for sure, man. And overall for the Rams defense going against the Niners offense, Rams really should be able to slow down this 49ers offense. The Rams pass rush should be able to impact Purdy a little bit more than the Jags were able to, and they certainly got into his face. Purdy was picked off twice. Rams defense had 2 picks last week. So obviously there's some positive trends for the Rams defense heading into this game, but most importantly, Thursday night games are awful for creating game plans, so both teams will be a little bit more stripped down than normal, which you love to see because this just means go after that passer, man. We have the tape. We know kind of what their trends are. Get Purdy. Get after them. It'll be good stuff, man. So what the Rams have that the 49ers don't is more continuity and better health right now. So I think that the Rams are sitting in a pretty good spot. And I say continuity just because of the injuries that the 49ers are dealing with. They've got wide receivers that are out. 2 wide receivers went out last week. I'm not sure about their availability this week. Obviously, Bosa going down. That's a defensive player and stuff like that. But, I mean, overall, man, the 49ers, I think, are a little bit of a what I would kind of consider, and I'm not just trying to be a 49ers hater here as a Rams fan, but they're in what I would consider a little bit of a faux 3-1 record situation. I don't think that they're going to sit at this level as the season goes on. I'm sure they'll kind of have stretches 3-4 weeks in a row, couple times maybe, where they are losing games. So this could be one of those where, I mean, they get knocked down to 3-2, something like that. But obviously, game's got to be played. It's a division opponent. Can't count a win before game even happens for sure, especially in this series, Rams and Niners. Obviously, that goes way back. So I think that ultimately, man, I'm excited for this one, as you should be. It's Niners week. I do believe I'll be talking with CG at some point this week. I'm not sure exactly how or when that's going to happen. We've talked about wanting to do it, but we haven't scheduled that yet. It's been a crazy week, dude. I hate Thursday Night Football. It's so packed in. I have not had time to do anything else except for get ready. So, but tomorrow, though, possible that we'll be doing that Wednesday evening. So check it out there. This game, again, kicks off Thursday Night Football Prime Video, unless you're going to be at SoFi Stadium, 5:15 local time. Be sure to check it out, man. We'll be live ahead of the game from my car. That's where we're going to start. We're not going to start from home because I'll just leave work and go to watch the game. So catch me there, Ram Showcase YouTube channel, Ram Showcase Facebook page. And I think I want to do a giveaway this week. Don't want to spoil nothing here, but hope you took your notes, dude, because I gave you the answer, all right? Gave it to you, dude. I gave you the answer.